Hi, I'm Kathy Feltz.
And hi, I'm Jody Pear. So we are already in the middle of a conversation, and I just hit the record button because Kathy and I were doing a personal check-in with the house coaching process and our spaces. And we were going to save this. I wanted to save this. I was thinking for next week, kind of like, I guess, pre-Thanksgiving and all those feelings and thoughts that go with that in our current situation, with not being able to be with family.
Mhm.
But it's just so heavy on my mind to think about the things that I am grateful for. And anyway, we are talking about our spaces. and I changed the hardware. So if you've been following along, you know that I have been working on my bedroom and Kathy is working on her home office. And I talked about changing the hardware on our armoire and nightstand. And so that just happened 2 nights ago. So went and bought some new hardware. And of course, it was not a simple, easy task. And Larry ended up spending a significant amount of time doing this for me because our drawers on the armoire are in two parts. So he had to remove the drawer front of every drawer just to change the hardware. So you had struggles too, Kathy, with your hardware. It's like these things just are never a quick, easy thing to do. But so he got it done. And um, I can't believe the emotion that I felt from that. So the hardware that was on there was like antique style, craftsman style, and I really hated it. And I've been living with this for, gosh, 11 years. Is that possible? 11 years
Mhm.
that I've been here. and and I really did not like, I thought I hated the furniture, but it was really the hardware more than anything. And so he changed it. And there is this simple knob now, and it is silver. It is, I want to say it's a little blingy, but it's not flashy. So I will share a picture with you. But when he was done and he left the space and I started cleaning up, all the little sawdust and the little, the mess that happens.
Mhm.
Um, I can't believe the emotion I felt. And it was just like, I looked and it's like, oh my gosh, there I am. That is me. And so that is what house coaching and intention is about, is really finding yourself in your space, in your homes. And I have been immersed in this for years,
Mhm.
and yet I am still shocked at how it can affect me. Um, and then he also, I asked him to put a decorative hook on the outside of our closet door because I want to display clothing in our bedroom. And that was another surprise for me that I discovered through the house coaching process when I one of the very early exercises that we do in a house coaching process is create Pinterest boards that show spaces. Like for me, it showed bedrooms that I loved and bedrooms that I hate. And then you did the same thing for your home office.
Right.
Well, what I was seeing in the pictures of the bedrooms that I love are very casual spaces with crumpled bed linens, like the comforter was kind of just tossed in place, but it just looked so inviting. And then they also had pictures of maybe there was a sweater hanging on a hook or a dress hanging on a hook, or there was like an actual garment rack in the space as opposed to a closet. And I don't know why I found that so appealing.
Mhm.
Um, the logical side to me is like, oh my gosh, it's just going to collect dust. So I don't want a garment rack. I want an enclosed closet and drawers and shelves, to keep things clean. But to find that balance and have something displayed in my space, a clothing item. So I asked him to hang the hook. And on the hook, I put a black cocktail dress that I bought on one of our very early dates. And I love this dress. And I feel really good when I wear this dress. And when I was looking at the pictures initially and thinking, how can I incorporate this in my room? I wanted soft, fluffy sweaters or something like that. Um, and then when he hung that hook or installed that hook, and I went to my closet and it's like, okay, what do I want? What do I want to look at?
Mhm.
I pull out my black cocktail dress, and then I went into my jewelry box and pulled out a string of pearls from Larry's aunt and a brooch from my mom. And I've never worn these items together, but oh my God. Uh, so it's hanging on the closet door, which is kind of next to our bed. And I see this and it just makes me so happy. I think I miss getting dressed up and going out. Maybe we're all missing that right now. I don't know. But
Mhm.
anyway, it's amazing these simple little changes and how I feel.
Mhm.
Oh gosh. So, Cathy, you're working on your space and you're seeing how it these minor little things make you feel. So tell us where
Right.
you're at.
Right. So like you were saying, sometimes the things you think are going to be simple little fixes and aren't going to take you very much time end up taking you quite a lot of time. So my challenge has been finding what I want in the stores or online. So I keep searching and searching and it's taking me forever. So I had kind of a similar, I didn't have to take my drawer apart, but I had a similar issue where I couldn't find the right hardware because my the dresser that I'm using is kind of it's going to be my coffee stand. I wanted to change the hardware on the outside of it because it's old and the hardware was old looking and I just didn't like it. I wanted something more modern. But because it was old, the size of the drawer pulls, that's not a size that they make anymore. Everything now is like 3 or 4 inches wide, and that's where the holes are drilled. But what I had was like 1 3/4 inches wide. So
Mm.
I couldn't find that anywhere. So I had to go to like plan B or C or whatever plan I ended up on. Um, but so it's done now and it's not 100% perfect, but it's much better. So what I'm left with is I have a couple extra holes um, that have no knob in them, but they're dark and so they don't show up a lot. So I'll just have to kind of think that through a little more and see if I need to do something else with it. So probably when I clear off the top of the dresser and put things on top of the dresser that are going to pull my eye up more, then I'm not really going to notice the hardware or the extra holes. But the other thing I was working on was my bookcase, which is just this old painted white bookcase. And it actually is distressed now, not because I distressed it, but because it's old. And so it became distressed naturally.
Natural
Uh,
patina.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's all natural. But I'm looking for just white accents, things that are very simple and clean, because that's what I was drawn to, an open space, simple space, and things that aren't cluttered looking. So white was appealing to me, is appealing to me. So it took me forever to find white file boxes. You would think that would be easy.
It's
No.
not. 50
No.
shades of white. There are like 50 shades of white. And some look clean, some look dirty. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So the very last thing, and then I also I color coded my books, which I've done for people before, but then Jody, you reminded me that that might be a fun thing to do, so I did that. It was fun. Um, so those are going to stay on the open shelf, and then the last thing I have to do just for my shelving is to get some sort of file boxes that are white, to put my actual working files in. So I pulled all my old files out, things that I don't really need to have access to. I put them up in the attic, and I have like this big whole house attic that doesn't hardly have anything in it. So I had plenty of room to do that. And so now where I'm at, and what Jody and I were talking about today, was the idea that my office is very important for it to be a space that is truly an office, so that I feel like when I cross the threshold that I'm at work. So
Yeah.
I am not distracted by, oh, I'm just at home. I could go take a nap, or I could go do laundry, or I could go have a snack. So to really have my space set up so that it looks and it feels professional, like an office, not cold, but truly an office, not a place or a space that I put some files in and threw a desk in and I'm making do with it. So I really want it to feel like and be an office for me. And then I believe I'm going to be able to come in here and be able to concentrate and focus in a way that will be different than what I have been doing. So I've been working on the dining room table. I've been working part-time in here, and I want to be able to work full-time in here and have this really function as a workspace. And then at the end of the day, I could leave this space and be done with work.
Yes.
Just really have that boundary. And again, the idea of a threshold. I'm at work, I'm not at work.
Yes. Yes. And, I mean, so many people are in this situation right now where the home office is just a collection of items that weren't able to be used in another space. And you're just kind of making do with these items. And that's great for an immediate solution. But to really create a space that triggers you to say, okay, I am at work. I have no other obligations other
Mm-hmm.
than to work while I am here in this space. And one of the things that you and I were talking about before we started recording was how you didn't realize, you didn't think about the items that you're surrounding yourself with. Like you had the necessities around you, but the symbolism to trigger the mind that says this is work now, like that, those things are necessary to help set your mind for the activities that you really want to be doing in that space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think that for me, I'm a person that gets distracted by clutter, that gets distracted by things that don't fit in a space. So even when I'm trying to focus and not look at it, I'm noticing it. And so it's very important. And I think for a lot of people, visual clutter is something that distracts them.
Yes, yes, definitely. And so I think, oh gosh, I want to say that, like thoughtfully placing items around you, it might sound a little fluffy, but really it's triggering your subconscious mind, and it's giving you that kind of that burst of energy
Mhm.
um to say, like, this is why I'm here, this is why I do the work that I do. What is that? I mean, I think for most of us it is, we are working for our livelihood, so we have more joy in our lives and more time to spend with our family. And
Mhm.
while those are all playing on our mind, and we kind of know that, when you have reminders in your space that signal that, it's just this you're giving yourself this injection of joy
Mhm.
in that moment, and it's important.
Yeah. And I think that it makes it more effortless. It makes it become more of an automatic.
Mhm.
So you respond to what's in your space without you even thinking about that you're responding to what's in your space. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Oh my gosh, you and I just remembered, okay, a new purchase that I made for our bedroom were floor rugs. So
Mhm.
for years I have been telling myself I wanted to have an area rug that was partially under our bed and that spilled out, onto each side of the bed and the foot of the bed. So it's kind of centered in the room. Um, so that was my plan all along. And when we pulled the carpet out back in the winter, so we've been living with hardwood floors, and I love the coolness and the spaciousness that that gives us now. And I don't want to cover that up. Like, I don't want that to go away. So I started looking for smaller rugs. And
Hmm.
and so what I did, and the designer in me and my own limitations was like, I was looking at bathroom rugs and I'm like, you can't do that. That belongs in the bathroom. But I bought bathroom rugs. And there were spa rugs, so they are so soft and fluffy and luxurious, and it's a bath mat that you step out onto after the shower. And I'm like, no, like, I want to feel that every day, numerous times a day. And so I bought two, and I put them on either side of our bed so that I feel that all the time. And
Nice.
so that was my own struggle with, like, that's wrong. That is a bathroom item, but I don't care. Like, I love the luxuriousness that that evokes. And it's like, oh
Mhm.
gosh. So anyway, I squelched that perfectionism and limitation, and I just went
Right.
with it, and I love it. Oh, so many hurdles that we have that we
Right.
create for ourselves.
Uh, and there's a trial and error piece,
Yeah.
where we have to try different things. Sometimes you have an idea and maybe you're not sure it's going to work, but you try it and either A, oh, that was great, it really works, or B, it's not exactly what I wanted. So I think that's how we hit on, our own perfection.
Yes.
That's how we hit on what works for us, is because we've tried a couple of different things.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. And if you recall, I'm also working on a gallery wall in our bedroom, and I had one picture that the frame fell. It was um flawed. So the hanger separated from the frame, and the picture fell and shattered. And so we took all of the pictures down, and I had to go and start from scratch again. So I just purchased the new frames a couple days ago, and now I'm in the process of creating new pictures again, because the pictures got damaged when I pulled them out of each frame to return the frames. And so what I had done previously was created all these individual photo collages. And I loved it. And Larry liked it. Um,
Ah,
so now I'm rethinking the pictures that I'm going to put in there. So they are still going to be travel, but now rather than photo collages, I'm going to just do large prints, individual prints that just become more of a statement piece rather than a whole
mhm.
collection of things. Um, so it's like, even when I think I know I'm on a certain track, it's like, nope, let's tweak that a little bit and do something a little bit different, because
Yep.
it may feel better, it feels right in the moment, and then you get another idea and it's like, okay, let's try this. So that's where I'm at, is redoing
Mhm.
those pictures and rethinking what I want to have in there. Always evolving.
Yeah, and every time I try something in my space and it turns out, then that energizes me for doing the next step.
Yeah.
Even something as simple as I had this ugly little plastic thing on wheels with 3 drawers, and I don't even know where I got it from, but I had work supplies in it and I never liked it, but I finally got rid of it, and just seeing that little corner with nothing in it is energizing. I mean, I'm like, oh, well, now it's open, it's more open, and I can do something else there.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes, it is energizing just to see the space. We don't have to fill every single space. And you probably kept it out of obligation, because, well, it's serving its purpose, or somebody gave it to you or something. But hopefully, and so what did you do with the item? Did you give it to somebody else or donate it, or?
It's actually in my car right now,
Oh,
and it's slated for going to donation.
Perfect.
So when I make my decision that I don't need it anymore, I usually put it in a bag or a box and I put it right in my car. And then when I get a certain number of things in my car,
Yeah.
then I go to Goodwill and drop everything off.
Perfect. And somebody else who needs it and will have a
Mhm.
new appreciation for it is going to get it. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah, maybe some person who's doing some homeschooling and needs something that's really easy to wheel around and use and has a couple drawers in it. Somebody will use it for that.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So that's where we are on our spaces.
That's our update.
Oh gosh. All right. Well, so next week we'll see you again. We're gonna post early because of Thanksgiving, and so we will post on Wednesday instead of our normal Thursday. So thanks everybody for watching, and thank you, Cathy, for sharing. This was so great.
Yeah, this was good. Thank you so much, Jody. See you next week.
All right. See ya. Bye.